Peace, Queendom. By request, I am going to do a YouTube relationship analysis again. I'm going to do it on Liv's Life and Unapologetically Avis and My Full Figured Life. Now, all three of these relationships have the same struggle love dynamic. And some are better than others. So we'll start with Liv's Life. Liv's Life is supposedly married to Gerard. Liv's Life plays a lot of games and does a lot of clickbait and anything for views on her channel. So I don't know if they're really married, but I believe her, Now they have 3 children together, and Olivia, I guess is her name, but she's a biracial girl. Her mom is white, her dad is black, and she's a plus size girl. And why does that matter? I'll get into that a little later. Because plus size is not an end all or be all, but I'll get into that later. So, I'll get into it now because I may forget later. When a person is not completely confident about their self, their whole self, body included, it will impact one's self-esteem, and it will allow you to settle for things that you would not settle for if you had all of your self-esteem intact. So I know this from being, a certain weight and size at one point myself, that the type of guys that I dealt with then are not the type of guys that I deal with now. So getting your body in tune with your mind you have no choice but to level up. Liv and Gerard, they have 3 children together, and when she first started YouTube, she came on bragging about Section 8 and food stamps and so on and so forth. Since she's been on YouTube, she was able to level up to the point of purchasing her first home. She says, I hope it's true, but with YouTubers like Liv's Life who play so many clickbait games, you never know. And I'll give you an example. CJ So Cool and the Prince family, they pretended that they were buying their first houses. And the Prince family did a video of him giving his mom his old house and him getting another house. But now, a couple of years later, he says, this is our first house that we actually purchased. The others were rentals. So how did you give your mom a rental? And people really believe that. So they stunt. Same thing with CJ So Cool. He got So Cool land. He got CJ So Cool land. It was a big old mansion, and it was really, really nice. And on camera, he gave royalty all this money, and she got on her knees and she was crying because CJ So Cool took her and her 3 children that are not his, and she thought that he purchased them a mansion with his YouTube income. But It took a couple years before he told the truth and said we were renting every home until this recent home. So Prince family did that. CJ So Cool did that. I don't know if Liv is doing that, but Liv says she's buying her house, not renting it. And so, like I said, it doesn't matter one way or the other, but this is how they stunt and play games on YouTube. And it's a lot of young, naive people on YouTube. The Prince family and CJ So Cool primarily have children watching them. That is their predominant audience, children. And they believe every prank that's pre-planned and premeditated. They believe every prank that the Prince family does and CJ So Cool does. So we don't know if Liv is really stunting or she really bought this house, but she upgraded. That's for sure, because we saw her go from 2 apartments, small apartments, to a home right now. So even if she's just renting it, it's still an upgrade from the 2 places that she was, for 3 children. Now, Gerard was cheating on Liv before they even got married. And again, we don't even know if they're really married because Liv plays all kind of clickbait games. And so when a YouTuber is dishonest, we don't know what to believe. And I stopped watching them personally once I can't believe what you say. I don't even want to watch it anymore, But some people are intrigued, and they stay tuned. All right, now with Liv, she got a house. Gerard is not there currently. He's in and out. They have this relationship where they're on, they're off, they're on, they're off. Even before they supposedly got married, she knew that Gerard was incapable of being faithful. So even knowing that he was unfaithful before they supposedly, allegedly got married, she still married him. Then she puts on YouTube that he was talking to a prostitute, and she records him supposedly cheating with this prostitute, and he says that he didn't really sleep with her and he was just asking about her prices, and it was just it's a good old mess. It's a good drama. If you want drama, it may not all be real. A lot of it may be staged. Gerard used to stage drama with Liv when they were together. It's a struggle love situation because we do know that they do break up. They break up to make up. They get back together, but it's been so many times that she gets on YouTube and get on live on YouTube and cry and say she's done and it's it, and then they're back together. He's back home. So he's supposed to be gone again. So if you want to follow up, Liv, but relationship wise, it's a struggle love situation because she does not love herself. She just talks about being in love with Gerard, and she is trying to level up, but she has to get everything together. She's getting her finances together. She's got to get her mind together and then her body together. And then she can level up and get a guy that would make Gerard jealous. But right now, all the guys that she tries to get make Gerard jealous about, Gerard already know they're not better than him, because Gerard, he is a hard worker. He works a blue collar job, and he will cook, he will clean, he will change diapers, he folds clothes. All of this has been documented. So I'm only talking about me talking about YouTubers is just like you talking about Love and Hip Hop or the Real Housewives. It's no different, people. Anything that people put out here is subject to be critiqued and um, ridiculed, you know, um, analyzed, commented on. So, don't think that, I'm really telling y'all about people in my personal life and I'm messy in my personal life. This is just YouTube stuff that these people put out here for clicks and views and Google AdSense coins, okay? So don't take it personal. All right, now that's Liv and Gerard. There is a struggle of he was cheating before they even got married or supposedly got married. We don't know what Liv's life and apparently he just, and she says he abandoned the kids, but just because a man doesn't want to be with you doesn't mean he's abandoning his children. He just doesn't want to be with you. He will be in the children's life, but y'all have to have some space. But she's trying to paint this picture like he's abandoning the children and the children are missing him and his son is having nightmares, and she's just really laying it on thick, trying to guilt trip him. And he watches her lives and her YouTubes. He encouraged her to grow her YouTube channel, and that is how she's able to be a stay-at-home mom with her 3 children, is from her YouTube income, okay? And according to her, she no longer needs Section 8 and food stamps because of her YouTube income. That's Liv's life. Moving on to Unapologetically Avis. Unapologetically Avis, her and my full figured life, I'm going to talk about her in a few minutes, but they've been hooking up since my full figured life moved from New York to Florida, where Avis lives, and they've been hooking up, and they're YouTubers and they're friends. I'll tell you the problem with that in a minute. Avis has been with Rome. Same thing. I think they're married. I'm not sure. I think they are legally married, but I'm almost sure they are. But same thing. They've been having problems with Rome being faithful, and she's put their business on YouTube. I mean, I haven't watched Avis except for today because it was a request for her. I watched like literally 3 minutes of her saying that they are trying to get pregnant again with another child. But they have 3 children, and I think they're all together. I think they had these 3 children together, if I'm not mistaken. But Avis and Rome. What do we say about Avis and Rome? It was a struggle love situation. Last I checked, they're still living in, a single wide mobile home and in the country, and nothing's wrong with that. I'm just saying, she's making good money from YouTube, and she sells hair and has other businesses. He works. And so hopefully they're saving up for a big home or something. But everything about Avis and Rome it speaks struggle of. I'm just saying. Okay? Just saying. Now, again, as I said in the last video, I think that it's normal for women of a certain age to do struggle love. But then I think you get to a certain age, maybe around 35 as a woman, you should be trying to come out of anything that is struggle, you know. And so, if you guys can't get it together and you can't succeed and you can't flourish and reach the top together in a reasonable time, then you're not helping each other. You're probably enabling each other. Avis is very much so the bully in their relationship. She has pulled his bitch card on camera many, many, many times. I used to watch them years and years ago. And so Avis is old school in these YouTube streets, okay? And she's lost a lot of weight, so that's a step towards leveling up. But she is just madly in love with Rome. And again, there has been issues of infidelity. Rome has a hard time not roaming away from home. He has a hard time with that. And she still loves him and bullies him into submission to her and the children. I see a couple like that being together probably forever because they're not operating in their high value. So it's not like Avis could leave Rome and get a high value man because she has not made herself a high value woman yet. And Rome couldn't leave Avis and get a high value woman because he is a low value man. I mean, so they enjoy their struggle love situation and dynamic, and I'm happy for them. Okay. That's for who asked me about Avis. Um, she's tried to beat him into faithfulness and cuss him into faithfulness and threaten him into faithfulness. And so as long as she has the illusion that he's being faithful, she's happy. So that is, very low vibrational relationship, and Godspeed to them. My full figured life and Avis, my full figured life, her 19-year-old, it could be 20 years by now. Last time I checked, I used to watch her back in the day too, but the last time I checked, they were together 19 years. It could be 20. Not married, no children. My full figured life, again, Avis lost lots of weight. And my full figured life, she's really, really, plus size. And why does that matter? Well, because in order to level up, you have to level up in mind, body, and soul. You can't just have the money but no self-esteem because you're not taking care of your body. It all goes together. Okay, so if your mind is right, then it's gonna lead your body to be right. When I saw Avis and Ashley get together, Ashley is from My Full Figured Life. Avis is from Unapologetically Avis channel. And when I saw them get together and hang out, um, you know, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing because who can inspire who? Because Ashley has been with a man, Ronnie, for 19, 20 years, and they're not married. And so I hope that they at least have life. And let me say this. I hope that they have life insurance policies on one another. It's okay to not be married on paper. Domestic partnerships is the new thing. That's okay. But at least have, insurance in place if something happens to the other one, if you're going to because most states do not honor common law marriage anymore. And that's just a fact. Okay. That's a thing of old, the common law married thing. Most states have done away with that. And so, but maybe they're grandfathered in too before the state stopped it. You never know. But the reason I don't think that Avis and Ashley can help each other is because Avis is trying to level up financially and physically, but mentally she's not leveling up, you know, to even just, like I said, just stay in this. You can look in Avis' eyes and tell she's not happy. You can look in Avis' eyes and tell that she's in a struggle love situation with Rome, even after these many years. And that's one thing that we make the mistake of doing as Black people. We love to say, oh, yeah, we've been 10 years strong and still going. We worry about the time. And because we've invested time, so much of time into relationships, we don't want to let the relationships go because we feel like, you know, it's all about the time, you know. So what? If you waste your time for 15 years, then don't waste it for 15 more. It's okay. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. But some of us, we're so vested and in the time, and because we've put X amount of years into something, we no longer look at the quality of the relationship, but the quantity of time of the relationship. So therefore you have 50-year-old women who's been with their dusties and on their knees at the altar praying for their sorry ass husbands for 30 years, you know, because they're worried about this. Listen, let your last years be your best years. So what? You've wasted 10, 15 years on the wrong person. It's not a waste. You've learned some things. You've learned what you like, what you don't like, what you need. It's never too late to level up. But because we've invested so much of time and energy and stuff into people, sometimes we don't want to let it go. And sometimes you have to cut your losses. You have to cut your losses because as long as you're living and breathing, you know, it can get better. Life can get better. So, you know, with Ashley and Ronnie, Ashley works hard. Um, she They were living in New York. She's leveling up. They lived in an apartment that she was too embarrassed to show for years on YouTube. And then she upgraded to an apartment that now she's proud to show. And she lives in Florida, where her sister moved. She moved with her sister, or when her sister moved, I guess. And Ronnie gets a disability check, no doubt, because he's crippled. And so he probably gets a disability check, and he helps her with her catering business. And so she was doing catering, plus she had another job. And so I think financially, Ronnie is not where she wants him to be. But again, I think because she's put 19, 20 years into this thing, she don't really know how to get out of it. And so now she's having double dates with another struggle love relationship and dynamic. Now, listen, and I feel like I'm going to get backlash from this, and that's fine. You put it out there, we can talk about it, okay? And you know, but if you're trying to level up, you have to hang out with women who are where you want to be or have, more than what you have, you can't hang out with someone who's also doing the struggle love thing. That you're enabling each other. Nobody's making each other better. You're just telling each other to put up with whatever crap you're going through. And women, we have a serious problem, just staying in these struggle situations and then wasting our best years on men that, I mean, if you don't even value each other enough to get married after 19 years, how real is it? I understand it's a domestic partnership. I understand marriage is not for everybody. But that means you can walk the hell away. You ain't got no paperwork. You can get the hell away. What is you doing? Before you know it, you're going to be 50 years old and less desirable. And all your good years are going to someone that you don't even have a real future with, or you have a subpar future with. That's my analysis. Love y'all.